Hey guys. So I just tried making this video and I came out sounding like the chipmunks, the chipettes. I don't know what was wrong with the microphone speed. I hope it doesn't happen again. So this video is going to be on history of Santa Muerte. Who is she? Where did she come from? What do you think? So from what I have read and the content that I have seen and from what I've been told, there are tons of stories, origins, whatever. My theory, well, it's not my theory, but it's the theory that I believe. That's how I should put it. Is that she is the personification of the Aztec goddess of the underworld, who was, and I'm probably going to assassinate this name, Mictucatecuatl. I want to say is how it's pronounced. Mictucatecuatl. Something like that. Or Mictucatecuatl. You could say that too. If somebody has the right pronunciation, please put it in the bottom and layman's terms so I can pronounce it properly. Anyway, the Aztecs believed that she was the goddess of the underworld. Now, this predates Christianity. This predates First Testament. The whole one God theory in general. So, the Aztec civilization, as you know, probably know, was stomped into the ground. Like they can't, the things they're finding now are literally underground because the Spanish Inquisition during that time, they pretty much they destroyed everything. You can still hear the Aztec language. You can look it up on YouTube. You can hear it. It's an amazing language. It sounds incredible. So it's not a dead language. They tried to make it a dead language, but it survived. Barely. So when the Spanish Inquisition came over and they brutally converted the Aztecs to Catholicism, they had on their flags La Paca, which means, they say, the Grim Reaper, but in Spanish, if you know Spanish, anything that with an A at the end is feminine. So La Paca would be Grim Reapress, not Grim Reaper. So even they saw her as a female. So the two, I think, theories combined. And but I know she originated from Aztec culture. They had little skeletal figures that they had made from real bone. Probably not human, could have been human, of their dead loved ones, and they would make these little skeletons and they would worship them and do what they did. And some of them had sculptures that they would make out of this kind of clay material, and or stone. And then when it was converted, like when the Catholicism part came in the beginning, people would take a representation of her as a single white rose. Um, so that's one theory, and that's the theory that I believe. I believe that she is Mictukaze Quato, however you say it. And it's just, she, as the times changed, showed herself and said, in a language that people then could understand because they were all made to change their language. This is, probably thousands of years, not thousands, but at least hundreds of years later when she showed herself again. Um, this is another story to a man. Supposedly, the story goes his whole family was murdered. He was left for dead, but survived and saw a skeletal woman who said that it was not his time. If he wanted revenge, that he needed to spread the word of her and, let people know, I am the one who did this for you. So that was only if he wanted the revenge part. She saved him anyway. And so then supposedly she was seen on a horse by the villagers. And this man again chasing down the man who did who murdered his family and tried to kill him. So there was never a woman found. There was never a cloak found because she was in her cloak, and there was never a horse found, but there was the horse of the man who she was chasing, and there was his dead body, and he was thrown over a cliff he was left on the rocks, and the ocean, the waves, I guess, were hitting him. And so that's how that began. And the man stayed devout. She told him specifically, I am Santa Muerte, or Santísima Muerte, which means most holy death. If you say Santísima Muerte, Santa Muerte is holy death. So that's one story and theory. Some people think that she was a nun, and that she had lived and became a saint. Some people think that she was a bride who was murdered. Some people think she was a grieving widow that committed suicide and was charged to escort the dead. But the cloak that she wears was traditional of funeral attire, usually for the grieving widow, who would wear black, and so she would have the hood that she could put as she, so she could grieve and nobody would see, because they didn't have sunglasses back then that you could put on so nobody's seeing tears falling down your face. But that makes sense, right? Because death, funeral attire, that would make sense. But also, monks have been seen wearing that, so that's where the nun story could come from. The grieving widow, because that was worn at funerals, but I just think that she has always been, and that's just, I believe, because, deities can change to what, okay, say she showed herself, everybody's now converted to Catholicism. Say she showed herself as Mictucazihuatl, or however you say it, right? He might not have accepted that. But if she shows herself in this attire and looks kind of like the Virgin Mary, but a skeletal figure, now he's going to accept that. It's going to be less scary to him. He's not going to be like, oh, it's the devil. And, so sometimes deities might change their appearance to make people more comfortable. I believe she has always been. Once the Catholicism part came into play, the story goes such as she has always been. I believe she's always been anyway, but she's always been. And La Blanca, it was the first aspect and always has been there. Then supposedly, now this is how the story behind the three aspects. Then supposedly, when Adam and Eve first, let's say consummated their love, La Roja spawned off of that. Love, lust, etc. Desire, things like that. So then they say when Cain killed Abel, La Negra was spawned off of, hatred, revenge, envy, jealousy, hexes, curses, things like that. So in Catholicism belief, or even in some pagan beliefs, that is why there is three aspects and how they came about. Well, not so much pagan because they don't believe in the Adam and Eve thing, but similar, but with different deities than, they believe, this god and goddess, did this, La Roja, then, this god killed this god and La Negra, so on and so forth. So anyway, she escorts you to the next life. The Catholics believe that the Catholics who believe in Santa Muerte, believe that she brought Jesus, escorted him to hell to defeat the devil, and then escorted him to heaven to his Father. And that would, make a lot of sense. That's what she does. She escorts. She brings you where you're going in this, after this life is over. She takes the energy that you have, and energy can't die. It's science. Energy does not die. Even science will tell you it moves on to something else. So she escorts you to either your next body, life, place you need to go, being, whatever your energy is supposed to do, she escorts you to that. So that covers all beliefs, all religions, all, everything. So she's a very caring deity. I've discovered she's extremely family orientated. She loves to see family together. She's just, she's amazing. As long as you're straight up and your heart is with her, she is with you. She'll never leave you. I just started praying her rosary the other day. I need to start doing that a lot. Not everybody has to do that. Everybody has different ways of worship. You can do it. You don't have to. If you would like to, there is an awesome site that if you look up on Google how to pray the Santa Muerte rosary in English, it will pop up. He's got a diagram and everything. You can't miss it. It's just amazing. To show you where to start. Like he shows the whole beads, and where you start and where you should end, and the numbers of them, and yeah, everything. Awesome. So I'd like to know what you guys think. If there's any other stories that you guys have where she may have came from, or where you think, because they call her, technically as a saint, you had to have lived and died. But she, that's why they call her a folk saint, because supposedly she never, lived. So you can't, technically that makes her Mictucachicuato. Huato. Mictucachicuato. Mictucachicuato. I'm going to practice this until I get this. Anyway, she, because, she's been forever. You had to be a saint in Catholicism. You had to have lived and died, and then they mark you, a saint. So I don't, I don't believe that she was once alive. I believe she's always been a deity, and a wonderful deity at that. So again, way off. I would like to know what everybody else thinks. If you have any other stories of where she may have came from, who she might be, etc., please leave in the comments below. If you liked my video, please hit like and subscribe. And I'm on Thursday at 2 p.m. I will be doing a 1-hour live tarot session. It will be a 1-card pull for $5, a 4-card pull for $20, and I'm still trying to get another private, like a messenger account or something. Sorry, that's my notification on my phone. So, trying to get another, please excuse that, private messenger account so I can do the whole read, the full read, the $30 read, because it would be, I want it should be private if you're paying that much money and, that much time and whatever. So below in the comments, I'm going to leave the PayPal account that you guys can go to if you're going to come to the live tarot session and try to get a read. So then the money will go into the account. I'll be notified immediately, and then we can start the read, blah, blah, blah. So other than that, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see some of you guys on Thursday. Have a good day.